We just pulled off an unbelievable doubleheader on a general rifle tag in Colorado, and this hunt did not start off good at all. And I just want to share with you how using the layers on BaseMap changed it from 3 days of, we saw 1 elk in 3 days, but using those layers on BaseMap took us to a place that we never would have found on our own, and we found these bulls. And I just want to show you how we used BaseMap literally in the truck to find a spot that we'd never been, in a part of Colorado we'd never been, and to pull off an amazing doubleheader. So check it out.
So we hadn't seen elk in 3 days. And I want to show you guys how we use BaseMap Layers in order to find out where we could go and kill elk in an over-the-counter unit in Colorado. First, the main thing that we did is to get away from people, we needed to find something with limited access. This isn't exactly where we went, but this is a good representation of what we looked for. We found spots that had limited road access into it. There's a few roads in this area, but there's a lot of trail heading back into some gnarly country that most people wouldn't go into. The next thing we did is we headed to our layers. On layers, with the hunt research that you can get through BaseMap, which is only $9.99 a year, and when you're looking at something like that, when you're looking at a price like this, after you spend $700 on an elk tag and a license in a state, on an out-of-state tag, this is absolutely worth it. $10, and it made all the difference in the world for our hunt. So what you do is you head down to the hunting section, go down and you select the state you're hunting in. We hunted Colorado. Next thing you do, you go down to your species. We have all sorts of species that you can look for. Our case is elk. The main thing that I wanted to look at is, first of all, I needed to find out which units in Colorado had an over-the-counter tag available to us. So I selected that, and then I went through and I found a bunch of different units throughout the state that had the second season open for us. The next thing I did is I went down, and there's a bunch of different options here. There's Colorado elk overall range, elk summer range, and Colorado elk summer concentration areas. For me, that's one of the most important things, is finding out where they're concentrated. This gives you a broad view of it, but this gives you a really accurate view. So I selected that. So when you're looking at this, you can see, alright, well, I got some roads here, I got some trails, looks pretty gnarly as far as country goes. There's some big basins in here, but it comes up as elk summer concentration area. The next thing that I do, in order to find their corridors that they're moving through, is I go back here, I deselect that, and I go back, and now I have Colorado elk winter range and Colorado elk concentration areas. There's also migration corridors. That's not necessarily as important, but this gives you a good idea of where they're heading. With the snow coming in, it gave us a great idea of where they're heading. So there's a winter concentration here, that's a lowland. There's some winter concentration over here. So let's say our elk concentration's here in the summer and they're moving down that way. Well, the next thing that I did after that, I deselect that and I zoom in on this area. And I know that the elk should be moving from here to here. When you're looking at this, the next thing I need to look at, when you're looking at this general satellite imagery map, you can't really tell contours of land and all that. So what you do, head over, go out of your Colorado layer, go up to your main layers, imagery and topography. When you're scrolling through here, there's a bunch of different options. There's a bunch of different options in here. The BaseMap 3D Earth, it's available on iPhone app. This is an incredible feature. But then when you head over to the BaseMap 3D Earth Topo, it tells you that your elevations as well as gives you a good lay of the land overall. So you click on that, head over here. It takes a second to load up. My service isn't the greatest at the house, but it gives you a pretty good idea. Now, if I zoom out like this, and I mean, you can see the exact elevation you're looking at. It gives you a great idea of what you're heading into. But you can contour this and let it load here for a second. So now I'm looking at this, and you can see a little bit of the contour going on here. You got some high peaks over here, a couple high peaks over in this area, and the main thing that we wanted to do after not finding elk for 3 days, what we knew is that we could find elk if we had a high vantage point. If you can see for miles, there's no way that you can't find an elk in that kind of country. Where we had been hunting was thick, dense timber, and we knew we had to get away from that. And that's when we found an area similar to this. Once getting on top of a peak like this and looking around and finding out your trails going down there, making sure that you have good access coming out of the same country that you're in, because you don't want to get stuck at the bottom of a basin without any way out, especially when you're on foot. This allowed us a lot of leeway and a lot of success when it came to elk hunting. It produced a large herd that we were able to drop in on and pull out 2 great bulls. And that's just a taste of how you can use the BaseMap layers. My brother and I came out here with no previous experience in this country, met countless hunters that had been trying to hunt elk in this country. They had no idea what they were doing, didn't see elk, the same boat that we were in. But as soon as we were able to use BaseMap layers and really pinpoint a good area with a high concentration of elk, we were able to kill 2 bulls on the first morning in that new area.
Hey everyone, I just want to take a second and thank you for watching, and just want to remind you, if you want to get a hold of BaseMap, you can save 20% on it if you go over to basemap.com/limitless on your desktop computer. Again, I just want to thank you for watching and just want to say God bless you all and have a wonderful day.